What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I just finished the stream for this brutal DLX challenge, and we did chapter 2, and I basically used like 5 health potions. I did not get to use any revives. It was actually not that difficult. And the team I brought was this one: Hercules, CGR, Ghost, Kitty Pryde, and Joe Fixit. So what can you cheese? So you can obviously bring Ronan. Ronan, you might have heard that he works for Winter Soldier and Vision. Let's explain why. So Winter Soldier has this node, escalating armor. Every 5 seconds the defender gains an indefinite armor up buff, increasing attack by 10%. We don't care about how much it increases it, we just care that every 5 seconds he's gonna get an indefinite buff, which means Ronan can just spam special 1 and deal insane damage, even as a 5-star rank 3. You just need to have him awakened, and the more the sig, the better. So you just, wait like a minute into the fight so that the opponent has like 12 armor ups, or like a little bit less than that, and you should be okay. Like, this guy cannot, shrug off the stump somehow, so he does work. And then Ronan also works for Vision, actually a lot better for Vision, because all you have to do is just push him over to the special 2, and he just gains prowess every 2 seconds. And also he's got escalating prowess this time, so every 5 seconds he's gonna gain prowess. So he's gonna gain prowess with multiple nodes, so he's gonna be a lot easier. Plus you have class advantage, so Ronan can definitely cheese those guys completely. Now, another very good MVP for this quest is Magneto. As you can see, there's one metal champ right there. We got Winter Soldier, we have Vision as well, and there's also Wolverine. So 3 out of the 5 fights here are metal champs, which means Magneto can hack most of those nodes. He's got high energy diet, but it doesn't matter. He can just cancel the node. You go for a big SP3 with prowess, that's fine. And for Vision, same thing. He's probably going to die from a special 3 because he's immune to the bleed, so he's going to gain massive armor breaks on him. So like 1 SP3 is all it takes. And also here, Wolverine, he's got some regen, he's got Lionheart, which you can basically, you can hack this and reverse his healing. He's got this node, defender's immune to heal block. Every time the defender is struck, they have 70% chance to passively regenerate 70% of the hit damage received. So you can just reverse that with your magnetized ability. So I'd say I did not use Magneto or Ronan. I did not use Ronan because, I was running recall, and you cannot really spam special 1s if you got recall unless you want to use potions in every single fight, and I really didn't want to do that. But Magneto was a really solid option. I didn't get to use him because I didn't think of him on my first run. So yeah, you can definitely cheese those fights, and then Magneto, very good. So this fight, you can do this with whoever, but it's preferable if you bring someone that bypasses miss, because the only way you can mess up on this fight is because of this aggression 1-punch node. So every 5 seconds, the defender gains a lethal charge, making the next successful hit lethal. That means that if they touch you, you instantly die, like no matter how much health you have. So every 5 seconds he's gonna gain that lethal charge, and if he hits you at that time, he is gonna kill you. So the thing you have to do here is just bait one of his attacks. If you bait one of his attacks, it's gonna get consumed. But this gets trickier, because as you can see, now you see me here, it says that every 6 seconds, if you don't hit the opponent, you gain a falter on you, which means you miss. And if you miss and you just want to reset that aggression 1-punch timer and miss accidentally without even noticing, he can just retaliate and attack you, and then you're done. So this could get tricky because there's also this node too, which makes the defender alternate from defensive to aggressive. So it usually, how it goes, the defender just blocks on that phase, and then you get a lot of those falters on you because he can just not reset the timer, because if you don't hit them every 6 seconds, you just get falter on you for just 3 seconds. So pretty rough. And yeah, if you can't attack him, he's gonna gain the lethal charges, and then that's how you can mess up. So it's preferable if you bring someone that can't miss. Like Professor X would be nice. Well, he just has the counter forever. You can also bring Cosmic Ghost Rider. That's who I brought, actually. He's got the vigilance, very good stuff. And also you can bring Hercules. He's got the true sense of the special 1, just to be safe. But then Juggernaut, I would say Juggernaut is probably the 3rd hardest fight. In my opinion, Vision is the hardest, and then Winter Soldier, then Juggernaut. So Juggernaut, you don't deal damage with your specials or damage over time effects. You deal 95% less. You only deal a lot of damage, 200% more, with your lights and medium attacks. So you need champions that hit really hard on the basic attacks. Don't bring champions like, you know, that deal most of their damage is like from their energy damage and stuff like that. Like Scorpion could work, but most of his damage comes from the Sting debuff from the special 2. Unless you really bring like a synergy from like Venom to increase your base attack, your base attacks with those Furies. But it's preferable to use champs with really good damage on their basic attacks. I use Joe Fixit because he can just increase his attack with his cards, and it worked out really well. And also here, be careful of root or get rooted. This can actually give you free openings if you just dash back a second before the root comes, because they get rooted again. And here, that's how you get your damage. So when the attacker charges a heavy for 0.4 seconds, drain all of your power, and for every bar of power drained, you get a passive Fury, increasing your attack by 100% for 18 seconds. So that's how you can increase your attack. So champions with buffs, champions with power gain can work really well. I used Cosmic Ghost Rider for this as well. And he just really destroyed him because, you know, you can just stack those armor breaks from the special 2, and then you deal massive damage with your basic attacks, especially if you have the precision. So that does work really well. And the thing you gotta do is just start the fight by holding your block, baiting his heavy attack, and just counter with your heavy, because that's gonna make the fight a lot easier, because he's immune to everything. But if you knock him down, that cooldown, that goes on cooldown. The immunity goes on cooldown. So that's what you want to do in this fight. And also be careful of this, you know, unstoppable. It didn't really happen to me. If you like evade 7 attacks, he becomes unstoppable. It didn't really happen to me. So yeah, preferably champs with like good power gain and good damage with the basic attack, so you can just charge heavy, get that Fury. Vision here is kind of tricky. It says that gods and elders don't deal damage, so I made the mistake, obvious mistake. I used Hercules for this. He's a god, so he didn't deal damage. I had to quit. And robots, Kree, and Inhumans deal really, really good damage. So for Kree, there is probably the best counter right here, which is Hulkling. So Hulkling is just class advantage. He doesn't care at all. And you just, if you're a Kree, you're just gonna have 95% more attack in the whole fight. So Hulkling was just amazing. I even used a cosmic power boost for him, and I just did back-to-back special suits with unblockable, got 4 Furies, and it was just crazy. And there's obviously Ronan, which, you know, he's a Kree as well. You can make the cheese. You know, it's pretty crazy. There's also the Inhumans. If you don't have Kree, you can use Medusa, just shut down Vision, and have 95% more attack on top of that, which is really nice. And then the last one is robots. There they are. So, you know, we don't have anyone that's like super crazy, because like you can try using power burn champs like, you know, those Visions, but this guy is actually completely immune to it. As you can see, the defender is immune to power lock, drain, and burn and steal. This immunity goes on cooldown if you knock him down. So you can knock him down often, but you have to time so many things in the fight, so it does get tricky, because, you know, he's got his own synthesis, he's got the prowess, the kinetic transference, which is actually 3, gains massive power and fits your block. So if you use those to be safe, you gotta remember to knock him down a bunch. But actually, one MVP champ that I think is going to work amazing is America Chavez, because with your heavy attack, if you do the last part, you can what is it? Yeah, you reduce the opponent's ability power rate by 60. So that I don't think that counts as power burn. It just counts as a reduction or a reverse power gain, I guess. So she should be really nice. I'm actually really excited to use her on my new account, because America Chavez is my rank 4. So yeah. Then we have Scarlet Witch. This is my favorite fight. This fight, you just basically play it safe by parrying her, charging your heavy until that stun is about to expire, and do that again until you're at a special 3 or at a special 2. If you think your champ can kill with the SP2, do that, because look how much damage you get. You get 400% more damage with your power shield right there. And then look at this. While the attacker is charging a heavy, they gain 8% of bar of power. So the only way you build up power is like this. And if you do this, look at this. While the attacker or defender charges the heavy attack, they gain an unstacking prowess that lasts until they are stunned or knocked down. And then the potency of the prowess increased by 5% every 0.10 seconds. So that's like indefinite. You can just charge your heavy until 400% potency, and then you also have 400% potency on that power shield. So you can get like an 800% special attack. And I basically used Joe Fixit, and if the last hit crit, she was always dead. Unless she, you know, weaknessed on the special 2, during the special 2. But mostly, if you can go for a special 3, it's going to be enough. It's a very fun fight, just parry and heavy. And just be careful, because if you crit against her, she gets an unblockable charge, but all you have to do is just dex, and the unblockable goes away. It only lasts for one of her attacks. She doesn't have to hit you to remove that. So definitely the easiest fight there. And then Wolverine is the second easiest. He's immune to all dots and passive damage types, so you cannot do you know, Scorpion with his sting debuffs and all that stuff. And he also has True Strike, Lionheart, and the active regen, where we just saw he's immune to heal block. He has a 70% chance to heal 70% of the damage. So here, best options: Warlock, his infection prevents healing, keep that in mind. Nimrod, this guy is immune to all passive damage types and damage over time effects. So you cannot shock, but you can still, on hit, while you're on your orange phase, remove the regen. You will not replace it with a shock, but it's still going to remove the regen. So this guy cannot activate regen if you're on your orange phase or your eradicate phase, where you just have both of those phases, and it works. So yeah, Nimrod and Warlock probably the best options. Remember, you cannot just use regular heal block like Vision or Omega Sentinel, but big tip here, Despair does work for the healing reduction. You can use some champions that have debuffs, but just not damage over time effects. You can have someone that stacks like 5 weaknesses. You can have Silk with her physical vulnerabilities, where those are debuffs, and just reduce the healing. And you can also reverse the healing with Petrify, so keep that in mind. And then lastly, we have the Hulk boss, which is actually pretty tricky to fight. He does deal a lot of damage. So first off, he's got 95% more block penetration, and he can perform crits through the block. That hurts. And when the attacker successfully dodges or evades an attack, they gain a definite Fury buff, increasing attack by 5%. So this is nice because it has stack of 50. So you can like do 10 dashbacks and just get a lot of damage. So this is a good help right there. But keep in mind, the block damage is gonna be crazy because of the escalating Fury as well, where he just gains Furies every 5 seconds, increasing his attack by 5%, and those don't have any limit, I think. So yeah, just gotta finish the fight quick, basically. And then also, when the defender strikes the attacker's block, the defender regenerates 250% of the damage dealt. So if you want to block, he's gonna heal as well. He's gonna do so much damage, so be careful. And then also, Conflictor is kind of annoying because he gains 75% of bar of power, and then Brute Force. So the tricky part of this Hulk fight is when he's about to get his Unstoppable, because this is a new version of Hulk, where if he gets 15 of his Furies, he becomes Unstoppable. And that's where it gets risky. So how I would do it is I would try to parry and stun him, and then give him the Unstoppable. Like, stun him on his 14th charge, and then try and trigger the 15th while he's stunned. But be careful, because this is tough. With Conflictor, you're gonna have to parry twice, unless you have a champion that can debuff him, and then you go for a 1 parry stun. So you could try this, but also keep in mind that you're gonna have a relic. So maybe you get lucky and you can just use the relic to escape from Hulk's you know, attacks when he becomes unstoppable. So yeah, just avoid blocking. I use Kitty Pryde. I think I soloed him on my first try, but Kitty Pryde, you know, can just parry without even taking damage while phasing. She's pretty OP. So yeah, overall it was not a tough challenge, just a bit tedious. If you find those counters, those cheese counters, it can be really fun as well. My favorite fight is 100% Scarlet Witch. Definitely the easiest as well. Vision was a bit frustrating because he did have some sort of passive AI, and it's always scary because he's got the synthesis, of course. And then just be careful, Winter Soldier, like that. Just take Juggernaut slow, Winter Soldier, careful of the falter, and then Vision, pray for the specials. You know, that's it. So yeah, guys, I hope this helps. This challenge is not too bad. We get some nice rewards. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.